Hello, today is 1/2 of 25, and I am here with a video of what I eat in a day on my keto journey. It's currently 10:30. I'm not hungry. I ate at like 9 o'clock last night, so I'm not hungry. But I am going to start doing some meal prep for later in the day. I want to have um, chicken salad, a BLT chicken salad. We're going to have that for dinner tonight, so I need to cook the chicken for it. With that chicken, I'm also cooking additional chicken because I do like to have some kind of protein just sitting in my fridge for when I just need a little snack or if I just need a little more protein in the day. So I'll eat, a couple ounces of chicken or turkey or whatever it is that I might have in my refrigerator. So I'm going to do all of that cooking all at once. Okay, so the first thing that I am getting ready is my chicken. So I have some chicken breast. This came from a bag of like frozen chicken breast that you can buy. It's Tyson brand. And then I'm going to add some additional chicken breast, which I have here from my grocer, uh, just because I want to have quite a bit. I'm going to make that chicken salad and then I'm going to, have some leftovers. So I do want quite a bit. To my Instant Pot, I want to make sure I've got some liquid. So in this case, I've got liquid that came from the package of meat. I'll probably add a little bit more because I have more chicken to add in. Um, I'm going to be sure to add broth. Whenever I add liquid to food, I always want to make sure that I'm adding something that has flavor to it. I mean, that's one of the reasons that we salt our water when we make pasta, which I know we don't make pasta, but we want to be adding flavor to our food because water just leaches the flavor out. So then to that, I add some seasonings. So for this much chicken, I would add a half teaspoon of salt, ground black pepper, onion powder, and garlic powder. Because I'm going to kind of double my meat, I'm going to add double of that. But that's kind of like my traditional what I would make if I were making this for my everyday use. But today I'm also going to add some vegetable seasoning that we got from a general store in Amana, Iowa. We love Amana. So I have a little bit of it left. So I'm going to go ahead and add in that just to add a little more flavoring. And I am kind of layering my seasoning. So I've put in a half teaspoon of each of these, and now I'm going to add some more chicken, and then I'll add some more seasoning just because I want to make sure that all of that chicken is getting seasoned. A couple other meal prep things that I am doing today. I had a pork roast that I cooked the other day. So I broke it down. I've got it into a couple half-pound packages in here, just all chopped up. So it's ready to like take some out and add to like some eggs or a vegetable dish or something like that. I do have a little bit of it also in my refrigerator so that I can use it here like pretty soon. Or, like I would use my chicken where I just eat a little bit because I need some more protein. I'm also cooking up some bacon. So usually when I cook bacon, I cook it 2 pounds at a time so that I can have leftovers. Some of this is going to be used in the BLT chicken salad. But the rest of it, I will just keep on hand in my refrigerator for a quick meal or a snack, or, I just need some more fat in my day. So I usually do kind of undercook it. I basically use it the same way that you would use the bacon that's like the microwavable bacon, which is already like most of the way cooked, and then you just stick it in the microwave and kind of crisp it up. That's essentially what I do with my bacon that I make up. So this is Black Label, just their original bacon. It's my favorite bacon. Um, it does have nitrates or nitrites, probably nitrites in it. So like I know it's not the best for me, but like it's something that I really love. It's something that's going to be hard for me to move away from uh, as I try to kind of get rid of some of those other things in my diet that aren't the best for me. And speaking of getting rid of things that aren't best for me, I'm considering and kind of actually committed to that I'm going to try the elimination diet. I just want to see how different foods affect me. if I'm sensitive to anything, if certain things will cause me, issues, and then maybe I want to avoid them. I have a doctor's appointment next week, so I'm going to wait until after I talk to my doctor just because mostly you should. And I just want to see with what I've been doing, how that has affected my health. So I don't want to kind of taint those results by going on the elimination diet. But then after I have that appointment, my plan is to cut out like pretty much everything except for animal products. And I will even cut out bacon. I don't want to be having like those nitrates and nitrites. I want to make sure that I'm eating like really, really clean and like all animal products. And then I'll do that for 3 weeks. And after that, I'll start adding in, I think I'm probably going to start with dairy just because I do like to use butter and I like to use milk. So that's kind of one of the first things that I want to check and see if I'm able to eat and tolerate without any like inflammation or gut issues or anything. Sometimes, and not that I feel like I have gut issues a lot, but just sometimes when you have gut issues, you don't realize that you actually have them because you're just so used to having them. Like it's normal for you. So I'm going to do that. It'll start for me in about a week or so after I have my doctor's appointment. So just kind of a heads up on something I'm going to be changing there. Okay, so now I'm going to get together the chicken salad that we're going to have for dinner. I like to have it all done and have a couple hours to sit to just kind of have all those flavors meld together a bit. So that's what I'm going to work on now. I'm going to start with my bacon. I have 5 slices of bacon. I'm just going to chop it up. Okay, and then I'll get that into a large mixing bowl I have sit over here. Okay, and then I need about a half cup of grape tomatoes. And I'm just going to cut these into fourths. Go in half and then in half again and get those in my bowl. Okay, and then before I put my chicken in, I'm actually gonna get kind of my dressing ingredients in here. I kind of like to get it mixed in well before I add the chicken, just because there's so much chicken, and that helps like the dressing ingredients to kind of all come together. So I need a half cup of mayonnaise. I'm using Hellmann's olive oil mayonnaise, but just note that it also has canola oil and soybean oil. The first ingredient is water, the next is olive oil, but then right after olive oil is soybean oil and canola oil. So just if you're trying to not have those kinds of oils, don't buy Hellmann's olive oil mayonnaise thinking that you're getting away from it. Okay, so there's a half cup. Gonna get that in. And then I need to add just a couple seasonings. I need a teaspoon of, no, I'm sorry, I need a half teaspoon of salt. There's a half teaspoon and a half teaspoon of my ground black pepper. Oh, and then I also want, I'm gonna wait to stir that. I also need some green onion. So I want to end up with about a quarter cup of chopped green onion and get those in. Okay, then I'm going to kind of get this mixed together a bit. Okay, now I want to chop up some chicken. My original recipe calls for 2 boneless, skinless chicken breasts. But I find that you can't really go by 2 boneless, skinless chicken breasts because, they're going to weigh different amounts. So I'm just going to chop, this is a fairly good size one. I'm just going to chop this up and get it in and then see if I need some more. Okay, so this looks good. I am feeding 4 people tonight, so I want to make sure I have enough. And there we go. All right, I am ready to start my lunch. For my lunch today, I am going to have stew meat and pork belly. So my intent is to have 8 ounces of stew meat and about 2 ounces of pork belly. And I'm going to cook these in my air fryer. So I've got that preheating for me. And I'm just going to take out about half of this because this is a pound. And then I'm just going to cut it. This is just stew meat that I got from my butcher. I'm just going to cut it into a little bit smaller pieces because that's kind of the way that I like it. Plus, it'll cook more evenly with what I'll have going on with my pork. So just cutting this into some chunks. Okay, and then I will slice up my 2 ounces of pork belly. And then I'm going to add a bit of oil and seasoning. So I'm going to add about a teaspoon of olive oil, a good sprinkling of salt, and some pepper. And then just kind of mix them all around. And then I'll pop them in my air fryer. Kind of make sure they're spread out so they can all cook. And I don't know how long they're going to cook. So I'm guessing about 8 minutes, but we'll have to see. Okay, so it's only been maybe 4 or 5 minutes and my steak is done. I did kind of cut it into 2 small pieces. And I like my steak to be like medium rare. So I'm going to go ahead and pull my steak out and then I'll just allow my pork belly to continue to cook. It is after 1 o'clock now. So just, I know I often give like what time I'm eating my meals. So it's about 1:15 right now. I haven't had coffee or anything, so I'm also going to make my coffee while I wait for my pork belly to finish cooking. I'm gonna add another 1/4 teaspoon of salt. I think I added about 1/8 of a teaspoon of the pink salt, but maybe less. It's often less than I think. So I'm going to make sure that I'm adding some more salt in here to get my sodium up for the day. And I have started to drink one of my Body Armor Flash IVs, but I drink that over several hours. And my pork belly is done to my liking. I love the simplicity of this meal. Like, I might have to eat something like this more often. I think some avocado would go great with this pork belly because I know that it does. But this is already pretty high calorie and fat, so I'm not sure that I really want to add more of that in. It is 4:30 and I am ready for my second meal. Not necessarily because I'm like really hungry. I just don't want to be eating late. I'm trying to have an earlier like ending of eating time. Ideally, it would be 5 o'clock, so it's 4:30. So I'm going to give it a try. I may not be through all of my food by that time. Sometimes it takes me a while to eat, but I'm going to try. So I was going to have the chicken salad that I made, but I was also going to have an Okios yogurt. And when I took my Okios yogurt out, the 2 containers were like connected together and I tried to split them apart and it ended up opening both containers. So instead of chicken salad, I will be having 2 containers of Okios black cherry yogurt, which is just fine. I like it, so it's not a problem. I'm also going to have 4 medium strawberries. And I am going to drink my apple cider vinegar. I forget my words. I'm going to drink my apple cider vinegar, which I have also added a quarter teaspoon of salt to because I am pretty low on my salt today. So I want to kind of make sure I'm getting that. And then once I have at least drank all of my apple cider vinegar, I am going to have some popcorn. I've got 2 cups of popcorn here that I have also loaded with salt to get more salt in. So from what I understand, apple cider vinegar is not only a appetite suppressant, but it also helps to not have such a spike in your glucose levels, in your insulin levels, when you eat carbs. So if you drink that and then have some carbs, like your insulin isn't going to spike quite as high. And not that there's a ton of carbs in popcorn. There's going to be like 8, I think, in this bowl. So it's not like a huge amount, but and then I also have some in my yogurts, right? So I do want to drink this before I'm kind of consuming this, which is pretty much all carbs. There's some fat in there too. Um, I want to make sure that I'm getting that apple cider vinegar in first, just to maybe help with an insulin spike. Not that I feel like I necessarily feel anything from that, but just I know that insulin is a thing, so I'm just going to try and mitigate it. So I ended up with about 1,200 calories today. My protein is 130, 5 short of what I want, but I had 165 yesterday, so not a problem. My net carbs are 34, my fat is 54, well, 53, and my sodium is around 4,100. So I had a pretty good day today. Maybe I'll see you tomorrow.